Today we're doing a deep dive into something that tries to fix, the most universally annoying part of modern work.
Let me guess. The first 5 minutes of any meeting.
Exactly. The fumbling for the right cable, the screen not showing up, the whole "can you see my screen" dance. We are looking at the Kramer KIT-401-US-D-W.
It's a bit of a mouthful, I know.
Hmm.
But what it is a high-performance 4K auto switcher and scaler kit.
Right. And the mission here, it seems, isn't just about getting a signal from point A to point B.
No, it's much bigger. It's about how this hardware uses HDBaseT to go beyond just being a cable extender and into, well, full room automation.
Okay, because when I first looked at the specs, it seems pretty standard. You've got your transmitter, the KETI-401T, that's the wall plate,
Fits in a standard double-width box.
and then the receiver, the KT400R. But, whenever we talk about HDBaseTs, there's always a catch with distance and bandwidth.
There usually is, yeah. But the long-reach capability is really the headline feature here. We're talking about pushing a 4K signal at 60 hertz.
Up to how far?
Up to 40 meters. That's about 130 feet. Now, for the real tech heads listening, it's important to note that's 4K at 60 hertz at 4.2.0 chroma subsampling.
Ah, so that's the crucial detail. That 4.2.0 subsampling is what keeps the data rate just low enough to travel that far over a standard CCAT cable.
Precisely. You don't need to run fiber. And if you drop down to standard 1080p, that range almost doubles
To what?
to 70 meters or around 230 feet.
That's massive. That's the back of a university lecture hall, easily. No repeaters needed. But something else caught my eye on that wall plate. It's got HDMI, obviously, but right next to it, a VGA port.
I know, it almost feels like a fossil in 2026.
Yeah.
But it's actually, a very clever nod to how big companies actually work.
You mean the guy with the 10-year-old laptop problem?
That exact guy. Or the legacy document camera the university just won't replace. Without that VGA port, the meeting just stops while everyone looks for a dongle.
So it takes that old analog signal, digitizes it, and sends it on its way.
Yep, and the receiver at the other end just turns it back into a perfect HDMI signal for the display.
Okay, so it saves IT from a major headache. But here's where I want to push a bit. We see auto switching all the time. The marketing for this thing really leans on Maestro room automation.
Right.
Is that just a fancy term for it switches to whatever you plug in, or is there more going on?
It is significantly more. Maestro is basically an interface built right into the device that lets you set up actual logic triggers, like if-then rules.
Okay, so give me a real-world example.
Imagine this. If a video signal is detected on the HDMI input, then send a command to lower the projector screen and dim the room lights to 50%.
Oh, wow. So it's not just a signal extender, it's a room controller, too. You don't need a whole separate Crestron or AMX box.
For a lot of standard meeting rooms, no. It simplifies the whole architecture. You just plug in your laptop and the room reacts. No more fumbling for the light switch.
That sounds incredible for the user, but I can hear installers groaning about wiring. Does adding the smart layer mean more cables? More power outlets in the wall?
Actually, it's the opposite. It uses POSI power over cable. You only need one power supply. You plug it in at the receiver end by the display, and the power travels through the CNT cable to the wall plate.
So wait, the transmitter in the wall doesn't need its own power outlet? No electrician required?
No high voltage wiring behind that faceplate at all. It makes for a ridiculously clean installation.
And we mentioned the receiver is also a scaler. I assume that's to stop that awful 10-second blue screen while the projector tries to figure out the resolution.
That is a huge part of it, yes. The KT-400R receiver takes whatever signal it gets, 4K, 1080p, even that old VGA, and scales it perfectly to the native resolution of the display.
So the projector always gets exactly what it wants.
Which means the switching is instant. No glitches.
And for the admins who have to manage all this, how do they get in? I saw it mention RS-232 and web pages.
You have the whole suite. There are embedded web pages for remote management, the Kramerware app for local stuff, and yes, RS-232. That's really important for tying into older control systems that are still running in a lot of buildings.
It really feels like the whole goal here is just invisibility, to make the technology disappear so people can just have their meeting.
That's the dream, isn't it? It connects the physical infrastructure with the actual user experience.
Which kind of leads to a final thought for everyone to chew on. If we're at a point where the signal extender, like the most basic piece of the puzzle, is now smart enough to run the lights and the blinds, are we finally making that panic button in the conference room obsolete? Or are we just hiding the complexity a little deeper inside the wall? Something to think about. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.